Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan with the Laundromat Resource Podcast. This is show 163, and I'm pumped you're here today because today we get into building laundromats from scratch, operating top-notch laundromats, and a little bit we get into Dominican hair salons. So we cover all the bases in this episode. Seriously, it's a really good one with Jeimy Flournoy. We jump into it. She's like a powerhouse of a person. I loved this conversation. I loved her mindset, and she's just calmly confident that she is probably going to take over the world at some point, and I believe her. So, really, really great episode today. Lots of practical tips, and a couple little hair tips in there also. But real quick, we're going to jump into that in a second. Today's fast lane tip is we've got all kinds of stuff to help you succeed, whatever that looks like for you, buying your first laundromat or, running and optimizing your laundromat business or trying to scale your laundromat empire, whatever the case may be. We've got a lot of stuff going on all the time to help you do that. And the best way to stay connected is to every hour on the hour, check the webs. No, I'm just kidding. You can check laundromatresource.com. But the best way to get all that information, stay up to date, is to make sure you're getting emails from us. And we promise we're not going to spam you. However, we've got live Q&As. We've got webinars. We've got, special interviews going on. We've got mastermind groups happening. We've got all kinds of stuff going on all the time, event-wise. And speaking of which, I want to point one out that you can find with all the other events at laundromatresource.com/events. The Laundry CEO Forum is coming up very soon, put on by our very own Waleed Cope, who is a former podcast guest here, and I think still holds the distinguished record for the longest interview, but also a fan favorite out of Brooklyn over there, or the Bronx. Oh no, I forget. He's in New York. Now, I think he's in the Bronx, actually. I can't remember. Sorry, Waleed. My bad. But Laundry CEO Forum is coming up August 7th through 9th. Hopefully, you guys can join me over there. It is a star-studded lineup that he's got there. I just was looking it out. You can check it out, laundryceo.com. And I was looking up who all was going to be there. And I just kind of kept scrolling. I felt like I just was scrolling for days. Should be a really super duper cool event. Probably one of the best, definitely the laundromat event of the year. I'll put it that way. Very safe to say it will be the laundromat event of the year. So hopefully you'll be able to join me and Waleed and a whole bunch of other people, former podcast guests, future podcast guests, and other people as well. August 7th through 9th is going to be in Frisco, Texas. Again, check out laundryceo.com, and I will put the link in the show notes, which is laundromatresource.com/show 163, or you can check out laundryceo.com. All right. Now, make sure you're signed up on the email list. That's what I was getting at, so you don't miss events like this and others that are going on all the time, along with a lot of great content to help you succeed. All right, cool. That was a lot, but listen, Laundry CEO Forum, come check it out with me. August 7th through 9th, Frisco, Texas. Sign up today, laundryceo.com, and I'll see you there. And Waleed. And then Waleed can tell me where in New York he's from. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Let's jump into it, Jeimy. How about that? All right, let's do it. Jeimy, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on the show.
I am doing great. Thank you for inviting me. How are you?
I am doing awesome too. It's just an honor to have you on. Super excited to chat with you about your story. I know a little tiny bit of it, but looking forward to getting into it. So why don't we start with, who are you and how did you get into this business?
My name is Jeimy Flournoy, and I own a Dominican hair salon franchise. And recently I opened the Laundromat. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, and I came here at age 16 and didn't know any English. I moved on my own and learn English, work as a janitor, and work various other jobs until I got to where I am, including the federal government, which I left about 4 years ago. and opened one location of the hair salon and decided to open a second one and make that a franchise. We immediately sold one unit, which is due to open pretty soon. And then I decided that I wanted to do something else, and I wasn't sure what. And so in the back of my mind, I keep watching TikToks and I keep seeing laundromats. So when a location became available at the same complex where my first salon location is, I started doing some research and I said, okay, this is maybe it's a good location for a laundromat. I asked my landlord, he said, okay. I started doing the research and one thing led to the next, and we've been open for almost a year now.
Okay. Well, I mean, there was a whole lot to unpack out of there. So first of all,
okay.
You came in from the Dominican Republic at 16 years old, didn't speak English. Is that what you said?
I didn't speak any English. That's correct.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know this is not about the podcast or what the podcast is about, but can you talk just a little bit about that experience? Was that scary? How did you navigate that? That's tough.
Well, it's just one of those things where you go to another country for better opportunities and looking for the American dream. And I'm not going to say it was difficult. I don't know. I always enjoy every journey that I'm in, and I learned and progressed. Like I say, I started as a janitor. I didn't know any English. I went to school, learned English, and got one job and then another job. And it was just a learning experience all throughout. I don't think it was too difficult at all.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling overwhelmed for you, but that's awesome. I mean, kudos to you for, coming here and looking for bigger opportunities and then seizing those opportunities, which leads me to my next question. What is a Dominican salon? What is that?
So I know a lot of people don't know that, but it's actually a niche. So what we do is we straighten curly hair without the use of chemical, and it's a technique that we have. I grew up really poor, and the Dominican Republic was a poor country, and you grew up doing your own hair, and we have all type of texture hair. So we always straighten our hair, and that's what we learn. And it's a technique that we use. And a lot of the people with ethnic hair usually try to find us so they can get their hair straightened. So that's what a Dominican hair salon is.
That's awesome. Well, it's a cool way to kind of blend some of your experience and find a little niche there. Obviously, my hair is probably not the hair demographic that you're going for, so I don't really know anything about it, but it sounds like there's a huge need, which is awesome. And you've got, that second location. But then comes the TikToks. You're a victim of the TikToks here.
I am, and I feel, yes, it's horrible. I am a victim of TikTok.
Yeah. But listen, there's opportunities everywhere, right? So yeah. You stumbled on the idea of laundromats just from watching like people collecting quarters and stuff, or what?
Yeah, and to me, so I like businesses that you can have, businesses that doesn't require too much for me to run. I like to set something up and have other people run it, and that seems like an easy concept, especially coming from having the hair salons that you need to have staff that are licensed. And after the pandemic, you know how that shifted, that is so difficult to find employees. And I figure, the laundromat, anybody can wash a full clothes. You can train, if they don't know, you can train them easy. So that was another reason why I thought that the laundromat was going to be good for me, because I was able to find, the workforce wasn't so difficult to find because they don't need to be licensed to do anything. Anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm. Do you, I know, and I want to get into actually, you're actually starting that in a second, but do you have any like overlap? I mean, it's nice that your laundromat's in the same shopping center, right, as your salon. do you have any overlap, like employees or anything like that that's you're benefiting from that other than they're close by?
The manager manages the location of both locations of the hair salon that I have now, and also the laundromat. So she handles all of that, and we used to have washer and dryer in the salon, so we removed those. And since it's literally next door, so we take him to the laundromat. At the beginning, the ladies wanted to do part time at the laundromat, but we haven't had the need. We found 3 people, and those 3 people covered the whole day. We are open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. as of now, and weekends. So we have 3 people that cover that whole time. So we haven't had the need to use anybody else.
Yeah, that's nice, and it's nice to have that manager. How did you, out of curiosity, how did you find that manager for your salon?
She actually came from Puerto Rico not that long ago, and she's my sister. She came here.
Awesome.
Yeah, she came here like 4 years ago, and she really worked hard and didn't know any English either. So she started from the bottom, washing hair, and then working the front desk, and then became the manager. And it was so amazing that I was like, I need to keep her. And I was like, find you a little bit of money and I give you a percentage of the laundromat, and so now she has a percentage of the laundromat, and that's how we did it. Her name is Jenny, and she's the best. Like, I do no work at all. She does it all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because she might listen to this?
No, it's true. She's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. And that's it's very cool that opportunities that you took advantage of are now given opportunities to your family too, which is I mean that's part of the American dream, right? Is
it's having your family, also people that you can trust. Like I trust her eyes closed, and right now we're training my other sister, which has been here for a while. I was the first one who came, and then my older sister followed, and she does taxes. So now we training her to do the bookkeeping for all of the businesses. So
sounds like you're setting up a little empire over there.
It's an empire, 809 empire. That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so you're scrolling TikTok because your sister does all the work. Maybe you should do more of the work, and you won't be on TikTok so much.
Well, but thanks to TikTok, I have a laundromat, right?
That's right. It's business research.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
Okay, so thanks to TikTok, you got interested in buying a laundromat. But I mean, I know that you didn't buy a laundromat. So talk to me about, okay, you had this idea and you found this space in your shopping center. Was it a laundromat before? Was it not a laundromat before?
No, it used to be a teen clinic that closed, and it's about 2,500 square feet. So I built it from scratch, and I don't know how I had the courage to do that, but yeah, I did it, and it's done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a big deal. It's a lot that goes into building from scratch. How did you do that? What was that experience like, first of all?
Well, and a lot of people ask me, how do you build a laundromat? How do you do this? And I always say the first thing, and it sounds like it's nothing, a nothing advice. Do research, and then you take action. You take steps. For me, last time I went to a laundromat, I was in my 20s. And that was a long time ago. So I didn't know anything about laundromat at all whatsoever, but what I saw on TikTok here and there. So I went on Google and I started researching. I researched a business plan, and then I tailored that business plan to what I wanted to do, and started, asking questions. And then I found, how do you buy the machines? Okay, you need a distributor. Okay, let me call some distributors and talk to them. And then the distributor play a major part on on the stuff that I needed. You know, they want the business, so they have all the connections. They in the business, they help you. So then they gave me information for financing. Then that's how I got into Eastern Funding, was who I use. They are amazing. I love them. They did magic for me. And that's how it started. It's just taking steps. You know, one thing will lead you to the next, and you just take steps and you get it done.
Why did you think that location that had never been a laundromat before, why did you think that was a good location for a laundromat?
Because on that, it's like it's the main road, and it's in like 3 miles on that road. There is no laundromat on that same street. We have laundromats like a few street behind me and over, and they are kind of rundown laundromats. They look horrible, and that's something that I wanted to do. So I figure if I make something nice, even if it's something a little close, people will come to me. And that's actually the experience that we have had. It's everybody. We have about 250 reviews right now, 5-star, people saying how clean it is, how amazing it is. And it's a funny story, because the person who built my laundromat, he said, you know, who cares about floors? Just a laundromat. And I'm like, I want pretty floors. This is the floors that I want. And I care when I come in here. And if I see ugly floors, that's not what I want. And that's not what I want for my customers. And one of the things that people say, the floors are so beautiful, you know, and I mess with them all the time. I was like, you said that the floor didn't matter, but they do.
They do matter. And, you know, I mean, if the floors look dirty, it doesn't matter if everything else is spick and span, super clean. The floors look dirty, people are just going to feel like the laundromat's dirty, and kind of vice versa too. You know, if the floors are clean, they look beautiful. It just makes everything else look better. Obviously, you want to keep everything clean in general, but the nice floors make everything look better. But it is an investment.
You want to give your customer, just because it's a laundromat, you know, you spend a lot of time in there. So you want to give, at least that was my thinking. I want to give my customers a good experience. I want them to feel comfortable. They come in here with families, and my salon is, like I said, 2 doors down, and it's been open for 10 years. And you would think it just got built, because I keep everything up. I keep it nice. We keep it up. I'm always upgrading stuff. So I wanted to do the same thing in this community for the people of the community that have been giving me so much, actually.
Yeah, I love that mindset. I want to talk more about the build out, but I mean, you just dropped casually that you have like 250 5-star reviews, and you've only been open for a year. Is that right?
Yeah, barely a year, not even a year yet.
Okay, how did you get 250 reviews?
I just ask people, and I make sure that my staff always ask. And even though I say I don't work, I have a group thing. I'm always, guys, we need reviews. And when I get a review, I get alerted right away. So I reply, and I also send it to them and tell them, guys, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. And I also have signs on my laundromat that it says, help me get to 1,000 reviews. I say, will you help me? And some people, they will just scan it and they will do it. So my staff is always asking, and I also have signs requesting that.
Do you have like on those signs, do you have like a link or a QR code or something?
QR code.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love the goal of getting to 1,000 reviews. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you're at 250 in less than a year. That's mind blowing.
Good.
I mean, you go on Google. Actually, I have a list of every laundromat that's online in America. And
oh, really?
And their ratings and reviews and all that stuff. I have all of that stuff, and there's only a handful that have more than 200 reviews. So that's a big deal. Kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I figure it's a big deal, because one of my locations been open for a few years, and I don't even have 250. But we don't focus as I focus on the laundromat, just because For the salon, people literally search and says Dominican hair salon. That's a big search word. So people actually look for us. For the laundromat, okay, laundromat near me. But if you don't have Google reviews, you're not going to rank high unless you pay for it. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for ads.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. This is random side note, but are there a lot of other Dominican hair salons in your area?
Yeah, it's a lot. I have quite a few within 3 miles from me.
Really? Okay. It's probably one of those things, like, I hear this all the time about laundromats, right? Like, people are like, I never see laundromats anymore. And then you start talking to them, and then they're like, I see laundromats everywhere, right? It's like, I never see Dominican hair salons, but it's not relevant to me really. So, but now I'll probably see them everywhere.
I was going to say that. Now you're probably going to see them.
Yeah, I'll probably see them all over the place and be like, man, I really am an idiot. Jeez. Okay. I want to go back to the build out
yes.
Over there, because that's a big task to take on, building out a laundromat from scratch, especially coming just mostly from TikTok. So number one, do you feel like building one out from scratch is the best way to go?
Well, I think it will depend. It will depend on the situation. For me, the opportunity was that I had the space. I thought it was a great location, and I felt that in my core. So that's why I went that route. So if I have to do it again, I would. If I find a location that's good, I will do it again. But for my next laundromat, I don't want to do such a big investment. So I probably will retool, get one that's already existing and retool it if that's what it needs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel that. What was the process like for you of like the build out? Did it go smoothly? Was there a lot like a steep learning curve? What was that all like?
Ooh, no, it was expensive and it was a learning experience. So the contractor was actually referred by the people by the distributor. So that person did not have experience building laundromats.
Oh, okay.
I also decided to hire my landlord as an architect and has an architect firm. I decided to hire him. He never built a laundromat before.
Okay.
So between my architect and between my construction company, there were a lot of mistakes made, which cost time and cost money. We were supposed to have the build out within 3 months, but I never, when they tell you 3 months, I always say, okay, maybe 6 months we'll have it in. But no, it took a year and a lot of money. But, you live and you learn, and it was an experience for all of us. If I would have to do it again, I will make sure that I do find people who are experienced in laundromats.
Yeah. Well, in there, because there are some nuances to laundromats, right? There's certain things that you need to be in place for a laundromat that you don't need for most other businesses. A lot of water going in, a lot of water going out, a lot of power needs, a lot of layout to think about, ventilation, both for the dryers shooting stuff out, but also the dryers need to suck air in. And, there's a lot to think about when it goes through that.
Yeah, for me, we had to upgrade electricity, which also that just took forever because I'm in PG County in Maryland, and PG County is the worst county, let it be known, for any small business to do construction. And I've done 3, so I already know they just horrible in terms of permits, and that was also that took a little bit of a setback. But yeah, it's a lot of thinking, a lot of holes in the ceiling. We actually, one day it rained and they didn't do it right, and the whole laundromat with the machines got wet because there was so many holes on the ceiling. But that wasn't covered properly, and a lot of water. We had to get a separate meter because my complex actually include the water, but my landlord was like, "Oh, this is a laundromat. I'm not going to include your water and your triple net." So we had to separate the water from everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so I mean, big takeaway lesson is, work with people who've done it before, so you don't have to teach them you don't have to pay for them to learn the lessons, right?
Correct. I don't regret a thing. Everything was a learning experience. We got it done. It got delayed, but right now, I'm grateful. We doing pretty well. So I have no complaints. I always say one thing that I live by is you live and you learn. And that was my process. And when I have to do it again, I learned a lot. So,
okay. So during the build out, were you going through and sort of like design? I mean, we talk about the floors, right? But were you like designing the place as well and picking out finishes, colors, those kinds of things?
Yes, I pick out finishers and color. The layout, it was done by the distributor because the distributor who I was talking to, he also had like 4 or 5 laundromats. So he had the experience already building laundromats. He kind of knew what worked, what didn't work. And I also spoke to 2 distributors, and they both gave me layouts. And based on what they say, I did what made more. I made the decision on what made more sense in my head.
Yeah. How close were the 2 layouts that you got?
Very close, very close, very close. Except one. So I have one had machines like going up against the wall, and then the other one didn't. He wanted the machines in the middle and have 2 aisles. And the reason why he said that, he said most people don't use the ones in the corner, and he care about the flow, how people just flow in the laundromat, and I like that. I like open spaces. That's just something that I like anyways. So I didn't want to have no machines towards the corner, so we put everything in the middle, and we have aisles like this and machines in the middle and dryers here.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Was that the distributor that you ended up going with, or the other guy?
Yes, the distributor I ended up going with. I ended up going with his layout.
Okay. What about machine mix? How similar were there, like the sizes of machines and stuff? Were they pretty similar, pretty different?
Pretty similar. Except that the guy that I didn't choose was giving me 30 pounds, and my guy that I chose was like, nobody uses 30 pounds. You go 20, 40, 60, and get you some 80s. I wish I would have got more 80s. Because people love those, and they make money, so I love those. So on my next one, I'll put more 80s.
80s, yeah. Smart. Well, and I've been hearing that all over, like people saying, "Hey, man, those 80s are the money makers," and I wish I had more. So take note, people. More 80s.
Yeah, people love those
bigger machines. Yeah, get it all done at once. Just chuck everything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even good for us for the wash and fold business. It's good for us. One machine, you put everything in, and if it's same color clothes, and it's easier than running 2 machines.
Yeah. After you got this build out finished and you were getting ready to open the doors, how were you feeling at that point? I mean, it sounds like you were in about a year already, and you were in a bunch of money. Sounds like maybe more than you were anticipating money wise.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Were you feeling pretty confident? Like, okay, this is going to pay off, or are you feeling a little nervous about this thing?
No, not for a second. I always knew it was going to pay off. It's just a matter of time when it was going to pay off, but not for a second. One question somebody asked me before was like, how do you feel confident going in? Hell yeah. You think I was going to make an investment of almost $1 million and not feel confident about it? No, I knew it was going to work. I had no doubt. And I had the experience also from doing the build out from my hair salons that everything doesn't go how they tell you. So you always have to have a cushion in terms of time, in terms of money. Nothing ever goes black and white. That's whoever promised you that is lying to you. Run away.
Yeah, one of the things I talk a lot about with a lot of consulting clients is like frustration and anger. A lot of times that comes from having mismatched expectations versus reality, right? So if you expect things to go smoothly, you expect things to fall in line, you expect things to cost X amount or take X amount of time, and it doesn't, that's when you start to get frustrated. But if you have that experience and you're like, okay, listen, I know things are not going to go according to plan, it's easier to kind of stay level, right? And to stay confident like you are. I mean, I'm impressed that you were able to stay confident after a big build out, a lot of money, a lot of time, and like good, that kudos to you, because that's not easy to do, right? But part of that is you just had the wisdom and experience to know expectations are, reality doesn't always match up with your expectations, right? So if you can temper those expectations, you're more likely to be even.
Yeah, and and you can't expect nothing to go perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. As long as the team that you are dealing with is not being negligent, things happen. Stuff happened with the county. Yeah, I understand that they didn't have experience, but things happen. You have to, like you say, you have to have the expectation that not everything is going to go smoothly. As long as they being good to you, they have good customer service, they're not being negligent. Everybody is doing the best that they can, and I don't think you gain anything by getting frustrated and having a fit. It's like I'm going with the flow. I'm going to enjoy the journey. And it is what it is. And here we are now. If I would have got all frustrated and upset and all, it was for nothing.
Yeah, I think early on for me. So just catch everybody up in case you're new around here, and you probably actually don't know. But my first laundromat was a rough experience. I lost a lot of money, made a lot of mistakes, right?
That's why you're doing this.
That's exactly.
I saw that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing this. And it was tough. And there were definitely times where I was flustered, man, and I was frustrated, and I was dejected, and all of that, right? But it's easy in those times when expectations and reality are not matching up, that it's really easy to lose sight of the fact that exactly what you just said, like, this is all just a journey. This is just a journey, and it's all part of the journey, right? It's not the end destination. And even if things had crashed and burned completely and it wiped me out and I went bankrupt or whatever, it's just part of the journey, right? Like, you go to the next thing, and you've learned some lessons, and it's part of the journey. It's easy to lose sight of that when the pressure's on and you're feeling the heat, but it is all part of that journey, and the story doesn't end there. So I just wanted to say that for anybody else who maybe is going through a little bit of a difficult time, and you're inspiring, for me at least, that the way that you've kind of navigated all this.
I've been through so much, and if you don't work on yourself and try to look at things the way that I'm looking at things now, I haven't always been this way, but you live and you learn, and you have to, otherwise you'll go crazy, especially in business. If you're trying to do businesses and do other things, you're going to have so many frustrations. So you have to try to navigate those the best way you can, with the best attitude, stay grateful and hopeful, and know that if something didn't work now, you're going to work on something else. And I always figure, my attitude is like, I make anything work. I don't see anything impossible. I don't see nothing big. I always see, how can I get that done? That's my attitude. So if I get a roadblock, it's like, how can I get around that? It's not, oh my God, I just got this roadblock. No, how can I get around it? How are we going to get this done? How are we going to fix this? And for me, even for the laundromat, it took for me to reach out to the councilman, like, what's going on with these permits? And also with the electrical company, we had to get the meter. It was like 6 months waiting for a meter. He called the president of the PECO. So it's like, reach out to people and try to get it done. If it wasn't because I reached out to those people, it would have taken so much more longer for things to move. And so just be resourceful.
Love that tenacity. Just, yes.
Now we're going to make it work. It's no choice.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Okay. So then you opened. How was the opening? Did people show up? I've had people on here who are like, man, month one, we were good. And I've had people on here who are like, I was there for 3 days by myself when we first opened and it scared me to death. Right. Like, so how did it go for you?
I just got a goosebump. So first what I did was I had my windows were completely covered saying 809 laundromat coming soon. So I had that for a whole year. So people were seeing that. And then another thing that I did was I opened the Google account. I had the website going, coming soon. So I was creating expectation. And so I also partner with an organization that gives out free laundry, and they sponsor like a cookout. So we had a community day for the grand opening. So we were busy. We were busy on the first day, and then it grew slowly, but we're doing great right now.
Nice.
So it was good.
That's good. That's good. Did you start off offering wash, dry, fold, or drop off laundry, or did you add that later?
No, I started with that because I understood from my research that that's where the money is. Yeah.
Has that been the case for you?
Well, I have been lazy and I haven't really done my job, which is to go and get commercial accounts. I have that on my list to do. Okay. But, I always enjoy the journey. I'm never like chasing the money for some reason. I just, you do what you want. I enjoy the journey. If I want to take 2-3 days off, I take it and I live my life, man. So that has taken a little while. I'm enjoying the journey, and I'm happy wherever, in whatever part of my life I am in. So I'm not looking to get rich quick. But that's something that I need to do, and it's on my to-do list to get those accounts. But to go back to your question, we have a good amount of wash and fold that has being done organically. We have, I think, maybe 2 commercial accounts, but they really, really tiny accounts. I want to get the hotels, the hospitals, the jails, and those places like that. But like I said, I'm enjoying the journey. So whenever I get to it, I will.
Well, I love that. Like I collect quotes on these interviews, right? Because I just love and I wrote down a quote from you. I live my life, man. Like this, but that's really, I mean, like right behind you, it says live your dream, right? Like that's what this is about. And that's what's so appealing about laundromats, right? You kind of mentioned that earlier on, is that this is a business where you can serve the community, you can make good money, but also it gives you some freedom if you want it to. It gives you some freedom to be able to live your dream and to live your life. And that's, I think, what's appealing for a lot of people. So I love that is your kind of attitude going in, right? You could probably be more hard charging and, trying to go full bore and trying to scale as quickly as possible. But also, the other side to it is like, this is what it's all about, right? We have businesses so that we can live our lives, not the other way around, right? We don't live our lives to own businesses always. Some people do, I guess, and that's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people want to live their lives and have the businesses be a tool to help them do that, which is what you're doing. Yeah,
I want to enjoy my journey. I don't want to be here. Okay, I got to get this many commercial account and be unhappy and be stressed and all of that. No, I'm gonna do it organically when I feel that it's right, and I do it slowly. I don't do anything getting super rich and then have spent 2 or 3, 5, 4 years of my life being miserable. No, that's not how I want money. I'm happy where I'm at right now. I know what I want and I'm going to get there at my own pace. And while being happy, I do not want to be one of these business people getting rich and being unhappy and not enjoying the journey. That's not why I built this business. I built it to be to have freedom, and that's what I do. I am very, very free. And so the reason why I don't chase money is because I always say, do good, do what you want, do what you like, and money will follow. I came from a country where I had an outhouse for a bathroom. We had to carry water about 2 miles to wash the dishes, to wash yourself. We didn't have electricity. I live in an alleyway. A car couldn't even fit through there. So I didn't even see cars unless we really went out like once every, I don't know how often. So I grew up really poor. I didn't have anything. So what I have right now, I'm literally living the dream. I have what I want. It's just that I'm a busy being. I always want to do things, and keep myself busy, but never chasing the money.
Yeah. Well, having that experience and that perspective, I mean, it is good perspective, right? And it's one that I feel like a lot of people don't have that perspective, right? Like if you grow up here in America, yes, I mean, listen, we see poverty, we see homelessness, we see some of that, but I think it's different. Like when you've lived it, right? And then you've lived what you're doing now, right? You've got enough to have a comfortable life, and now it's just kind of, I mean, to me, what it sounds, I mean, this is simplifying, I'm sure, but to me, what it sounds like is like you've got that stability, and now you're just playing, right? You're like, I'm going to watch TikTok and build a laundromat. Let's see how that goes. And
everything at this point is extra. I built my dream house. I'm helping my family. I want to help more people, and that's the reason also why I do. I want to be able to help my sister, help my brother, help the community that gives me so much, and help whoever I can. That's the reason why I'm doing it at this point. But I'm super, super grateful. And, when I grew up without anything, I grew up with nothing, but I was pretty happy. I had a very happy childhood. So living the dream, man.
Yeah. Well, and if I had to guess, it's not that you're trying to help people now because you have a certain level of success. If I had to guess, it's probably that you have a certain level of success because your mindset is, hey, I'm trying to help other people. Like that was probably there before the success and has correlated to the success that you've had so far.
Of course, I feel proud that I employ so many women, that most of them are single moms or trying to make it or just come straight from Dominican Republic, and whoever I can help, I want to help. That drives me. I actually love to do that too. And that makes me proud that I'm, that the business is supporting so many families.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is a big deal. I mean, can I ask you, so how did you, for your salons and the laundromat, how did you find the people that you that you've hired or that are, working for the salon or for the laundromat? Because, I think there is an opportunity to use our businesses, right, to help the single moms, to help, people who need jobs and that kind of thing. So how did you find them?
For my hair salon, I didn't do hair, so I didn't know any hairstylists. And for us, it's a niche. So it's not that we can't hire any cosmetologists. It's that we hire cosmetologists that know how to do the Dominican blowouts. And who are they? Dominicans. And that's something that I'm also trying to do eventually, is to do a training thing, so we can train everybody to do that. But anyways, so for me, I had a friend who had a hair salon, and he was willing to share everything. And when I opened the hair salon, I told him, I need people. Can you send me people? And one thing led to the next. I started with one stylist, and it was one front desk and one stylist, and that one stylist did everything in the salon. And that's how it started. And I had my job. So I will the front desk will work until I got off, when I got off, and then I'll work the front desk, and that's how we started. And then, you get one stylist, and then they know more stylists, and it's basically word of mouth how I found the people for my salon. For the laundromat, I think I put a Google ad or something on Facebook, and the person who rents my first home, she wanted a job. She's retired, so we trained her, so she works there. And then it was a lady that used to work at a laundromat, and she came by the salon because the laundromat was still closed, and we kept her information. We called her, and it's her and her brother working there, so it's them three. And I got really, really lucky, really, awesome. Really lucky.
Yeah, because it makes a big difference, right? If you have good people working with you, life becomes the dream. If you have yes. people working with you, life becomes the nightmare.
That's key.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so you have opened this laundromat. You had a what do you call it? A grand opening thing, and you said that went pretty well. The grand opening.
Yeah, it went pretty well because we made it a community day. So we told people you're going to get free wash, you're going to get food. We had a moon bounce. We had ice cream. So we made it a community day.
Yeah, that's fun. And keeping it fun and engaging. And, that's the bounce house that's key. I'd probably be there for the bounce house. You know what I mean?
I know.
Okay. So, you've been open for almost a year now. What's business been like since has it been the TikTok experience, since you've owned it, or has it been different than what you saw on TikTok?
Pretty similar from what I seen on TikTok. I still look and get ideas because, I'm brand new at this. So I still look and I reach out to people, and I went to the Wash and Fold conference, mm-hmm. and I found about that through TikTok. And that was really good for me because I learned a lot about wash and fold, which I didn't know. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. The wash and fold business that you have, has that been, entirely organic? Have you done any ads or anything to promote that?
Entirely organic.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and it's doing well.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have a couple segments of the show. The first one is called Down to Business. And Down to Business is just to fill in the holes of anything that maybe we missed talking here. Remind us again, where are you even located?
I am located in Hyattsville, Maryland. 7816 Central Avenue.
Nice. That's pretty much almost as far away from me as you could get and still be in the United States because I'm in Southern California. So we're like straight up diagonal from each other.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what's the weather like right now in the summertime there?
Shoot, this summer has been so hot. I think today it's like 97 or something like that. Has been a really hot summer.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, I went for a run this morning and I almost didn't make it. I almost died.
It's been relatively mild here, although I'm seeing right now there's a heat advisory, but it doesn't seem like it's only 75 right now. It's still early, but we get up at 8:00 in the morning with an 80-degree weather. Yeah, it's like 10:30 now, and it's only 77, so pretty nice.
Yeah.
It does say heat advisory, which is weird. Okay, so anyways, we're not here to talk about the weather. Are you looking for other locations right now at all, or no? You just kind of let it come if it happens.
I'm waiting until I pay a little bit of debt before I do that, because I have my hands in other things. Like I also like to buy property. So I have an Airbnb in Dominican Republic, and I just recently purchased another one in Punta Cana. So
nice.
My feet are in. So I'm going to wait a little bit, but definitely want to do that in the future.
I got a buddy who lives there and loves it.
DR is the best, man. I go like 4 times a year.
Do you? I've been saying I need to go down and visit him. So maybe we can coordinate trips down there and I'll just hang out in the DR.
Yeah, that will be cool. And I can show you the city because a lot of the people that go from here don't really go to the city because you need to have a local to go with you. And the city is really fun.
I would love that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
I'll be happy to show you around.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a laundromat tour in the DR. And,
we don't have that many.
Yeah,
but we can do that. I'm going next month. I'm going to go for a whole month.
Ooh, that's fun. Fun. All right, keep that sister working then.
Yeah.
Things keep going.
She takes time off too.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. What's it costing in your neck of the woods to do laundry? Like how much does it cost to do self-serve? How much does it cost to do drop-off laundry?
My self-serve right now is we have the 20-pound starts like at $375, and the 80, I think I have them starts at $875.
Okay.
I had the 20s at $425 and decided to lower it to compete, but I had 1 or 2 people complaining and they didn't, but I didn't want to have it so expensive, so I lower it.
Yeah. Those 80s seem a little low compared to the 20 price too. Do many of the competitors have 80s, or are you one of them?
Maybe they higher. Don't give me to lying. Maybe I think they are higher. You're right. They higher because the 60s are the one that are like 8 something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can charge whatever you want to charge. Just,
Yeah, no, I think you're right. They are higher because I know the 60 are like close to $8. So okay. I don't remember the cost of the 80s.
Yeah. Okay. What does it cost to do drop-off laundry?
Drop-off, we do $1.49 per pound.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like right in line. Do you keep track of like turns per day or how many pounds of laundry you're doing?
I actually do not until you told me you was going to ask me that. And I was like, I went to look for it and my turn says 7, which I'm not even sure that that's right because that's high.
That'd be awesome.
That's high. But when I look at the reports and kept looking, it says that's an average. I have a 7 turn.
Dude, that's awesome. No wonder you like.
No, it's doing good. Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah. That's good.
And this is just the beginning, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and especially, you haven't really proactively promoted that drop-off laundry service at all, yet either. But also, only being a year old, you probably have some runway left on the growth of the self-serve business too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's for sure.
Maybe you'll need to raise prices and get the turns down a little bit, but the profit up more.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I need to I'm learning this whole thing, even with pricing and all of that. I have no clue. I had to ask my distributor and the guys that actually said the price. I'm like, okay, how much people are charging for this? Can you tell me? I don't know. And we go to some laundromats and kind of look and see. But yeah, I'm learning, so I may adjust some things as I go.
Yeah. Are you coin? Do you have cards? Accept cards? Do you do both?
I am coin and cards. Yes, so I have the Apple Pay. You can do Apple Pay, and you can also pay with coins.
Nice. I like that. I think that gives people a lot of options. On ways they like to pay.
Yeah, that's and actually it's 50-50 for me. So when I look at the report, it's almost 50-50. Credit card and cash is about 50-50.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I know your sister's helping you kind of manage that. And you've got 3 employees over there. How much time are you spending on the laundromat?
Maybe 4 hours a week, if that. I don't go every week. So maybe, yeah, maybe 4 hours. And sometimes I don't go, like I say, every 2 weeks.
All right. I'm going to start calling you Tim Ferriss with your 4-hour work week. Have you read that book?
No, I have not.
Oh, yeah. Tim Ferriss, 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
There you go. What about your salons? How much time do you spend on those?
When I go get my hair done.
That's pretty much it.
Whatever time that takes. Sometimes it takes 2-3 hours, and then that's it. I don't go to the salons either. Oh. I go maybe like once every 2 weeks, also just to pick up money, and yeah. So I don't go there. They vary, and even my sister doesn't have to really be there that much. She work a lot from home. Both of the business have systems in place where they literally can run on their own.
Yeah. Oh.
So I have camera system that I'm on my phone like all day. I'm like,
yeah, we know TikTok and. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, listen, that's like the dream, right? I think that's why a lot of people are interested in businesses like laundromats, is because they want the time freedom, the time flexibility that they have. They want to be able to go to the DR for, a month, or, just to be scrolling on TikTok all day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But, they want that freedom. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, if you set system in place and you do it right, and trust other people to do the thing, because that's the thing that we sometimes are scared to let other people do the things that we swear we're the only one that can do it,
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. And there is that mindset in this business, and it's tough. Just to acknowledge, like, cash businesses, it can be tough to trust other people, because there are a lot of stories. You start digging, there's a lot of stories of people skimming money and owners not knowing, and it happened for a long time. So you've got to have trustworthy people to work with in order for you to be able to trust them. So, and that can be easier said than done sometimes too.
Yeah, and good systems in place. I get a lot of cash for the salon, but I have a system that it's really hard for you to steal. You may be able to steal $10, $20 here and there, but it's pretty tight. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Way to set up those automated businesses. I like that. Mm-hmm. Do you have any like in the back of your mind, like, I have aspirations of owning 20 salons and 10 laundromats, or like anything like that?
Yes.
Think about it in those lines?
Yes. I am working on getting 40 hair salons. So I want to scale the brand to the point where I'll be able to sell it. So that's what I'm working towards. And for the laundromat, I don't have a number per se, but I just know that I do want more. The salon is a franchise, like I say, so I want to have my own and also some of the franchise, but I wanted a total of about 40. I want to see the brand all over the United States. Have you heard about the dry bar?
Yes.
So basically that's me, but for ethnic people.
I like it.
It's blowouts, basically what it is.
I like it. Well, it sounds like you're well on your way to get there. What do you have like a timeline attached to that 40 salon?
7 years.
Okay. From now?
Well, to sell 7 years, yeah. 7 years. But from now, I would say in about 5 years, I want to have those.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
What's it going to take to do that?
Acquiring other businesses is the easiest. It's the easiest, and we're actually working on one that we're acquiring. So I'm learning that process, and I went to this mastermind with Damon John, and there is a program that they have that I'm getting ready to take to learn how to acquire businesses. Even though I'm acquiring one now on my own, but you always got to go to the experts. So make it easier for you.
Yeah, I like that. And, thank you for sharing that, because I think in our industry, there's, and others too. And, just people in general a lot of times have this skepticism, or they sort of look down on, getting help from other people who've done it before. But a lot of the most successful people that I hang out with do exactly that, just like what you're doing, because it collapses timelines. And, it's taken people decades to learn information, and they can distill it down into one program that you can just basically absorb all their expertise in a short amount of time. So I love that. I think that's a great
and it's networking. I don't think you should ever be afraid. And also people, don't want to pay others for their expertise. I'm like, it's a mastermind and it's trustworthy people. I'm putting the money in. I'm paying because, it's at the long run, it's going to save me a few years. They already went through all of that. They're giving you that information. And it's networking too. You never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah. Yeah. And my philosophy on that is, if you invest money into something like that, maybe it's $1,000 or $2,000 for a conference, or it's $20,000 or $50,000 for, a course or mastermind group or something like that. My philosophy on it is it's on you. If you can't figure out a way to get in a room with successful people, and you can't figure out a way to make that investment worth its while, it's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The people that usually complain is the one that want things handed to them, or how people, always people ask me, how do I do this? Okay, for me to help you, you have to ask me specific questions, because I can give you an overall idea, but all of this, how I do this, start doing research and then ask me specific questions, how you need to get from here to there, and not just how I do it. You can ask Google how I do that,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or ChatGPT these days.
Oh, I love ChatGPT.
I know.
Yes.
Man.
I love that thing.
Me too, actually. Answering all my questions, doing all my stuff. Well, I love that. And I think that's an awesome goal to get those, 40 locations in 5 years. I think that's awesome. And I love the idea of kind of rolling some of these up and then, making your exit and figuring out what your next stream is.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what I want to do.
We got another segment of the podcast called Secret Sauce. Secret Sauce is this. You've owned a laundromat for about a year now. What's something, a piece of advice you can give to other laundromat owners, or maybe something that's working well for you, or that worked well for you in your build out? What's a piece of advice you can give for other laundromat owners to help them improve their businesses?
I would say make sure that you find good people. And when you find those good people, keep them happy. Be good to them. Be flexible with them. We all want freedom, not just the boss. They too. So keep them happy, pay them well, and praise them when they do good things. Another thing I would say, the Google reviews. I think that has done wonders for me. So make sure that you have good customer service, Google reviews, and make sure that if you're starting from the beginning, that you hire people that have the experience in the line of work that you're working on.
Yeah. That all those are great. I'll say, of the caveat of the Google reviews, make sure you have, like you said, good customer service and you have a good business. The last thing you want to do is ask for 250 reviews if you don't have a good business, because you can get a whole lot of negative reviews.
Right. Make sure your business is running well, that is very clean, and that your staff is very friendly, because you can have a really clean, brand new laundromat, and if your staff is not friendly, that will not work.
Yep. Yeah, I see that all the time in Google reviews where, people are like, this employee is mean, or, whatever, or is just sitting behind a desk, not helping anybody or whatever. Right. So it does make a huge difference who you're working with and who you're hiring. And I will say too, like, even just from personal experience, it's worth it to let go somebody who's not a good fit, a cultural fit for your business, even if you don't have somebody to replace them right away, even though, it can be difficult to let somebody go. It can be difficult to let somebody know when you don't have a immediate replacement. But I'm telling you, man, a bad employee will hurt your business more than anything else. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I think it was Gary Vee that I heard him say, hire fast and fire faster.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And that's true. And especially us small business owners, right? That can be difficult to do because it's hard. You got to have a conversation with somebody that you know personally, and you basically got to tell them, hey, you're not a good fit here. And that's just a difficult message. However, in the long run, your business will thrive much more by letting the wrong fit go and finding the right fit. Even though that can be difficult to do, it's worth the effort.
Right. I agree. If it's somebody bad, I'll let them go. And I have had the experience where sometimes you leave them on, and they still go anyway. So you'd be like, I should have fired them anyways, and then you're still in the same position that if you would have let them go. So I learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of us learn that lesson the hard way because it's hard to do, right? Nobody wants to have uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah,
but it gets a lot easier once you realize how big of a difference it can make for your business and for your life, right? Like you don't have the freedom that you want if you're having to worry about this, employee that's not meshing with the culture. All right. Awesome secret sauce. A lot of really good tips in there. So appreciate that. We have another segment called Pro Tips. And Pro Tips is for the newbie. Maybe you a couple years ago when you're getting ready to, you're scrolling TikTok and you're like, hey, yeah, maybe laundromats. What should the TikTok scrollers know before they get into this? What's going to help them out?
What's going to help them? Well, do research, go visit other laundromats and find you some mentors, find you people that are doing the same thing and be in those rooms so you can learn.
Yeah, I love that. And the mentor thing is so good because it's, kind of what we were talking about with the Dame and John thing, right? It's a way to gain a whole bunch of knowledge that you don't have to spend years or decades earning because somebody else is sharing that with you. And they've already shown that they can do it.
Yes.
They're doing it. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
Last segment before we start to wrap this thing up is recommended resources. You got any resources that you'd recommend to help us grow our businesses or even ourselves personally?
We actually mentioned one, which was ChargebeeTAI. I mean, if you're afraid of that, you're going to stay behind. Just get on it, learn it. I'm telling you, and that just gives you so it's just makes life easier. I can ask ChatGPT to write a whole copy for a website page for me. I tell them I want this, I want that. So don't stay behind. Make sure you stay with AI. That's what it is now. One book that I read that actually helped me, and that's how I decided to make sure that my businesses were automated. It was E-Myth Mastery. Mm-hmm. Have you read that one?
Yeah. E-Myth Revisited it's just, and what double good for you, because it's about setting up your business as if it's a franchise, right? And making it repeatable and all that. But that's literally also what you're doing with your salons too, right? But that's on my must-read list if you're going into business. I think that's a great recommendation.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, super good. If you haven't read E-Myth, I'll put a link to E-Myth in the show notes or down below if you're on YouTube to E-Myth. And I'll throw in 4-Hour Workweek too, just because I love that book as well.
And also Jim Rohn, like anything about him, will get you fire up. I go, even for my runs, it's like, okay, you can do it. And it's just so many amazing advice that he gives. That's one person that I listen to all the time.
Yeah. Jim Rohn, and even if you've never heard the name Jim Rohn before, you've probably heard some of his stuff because he's got a ton of just motivational content out there. I know a former guest, awesome guy, buddy of mine, Brandon Understall. He also likes Les Brown, who also is super good motivational guy. A lot of good stuff he's got also. Yeah, Jim Rohn. Good. I don't think anybody's ever said Jim Rohn for recommended resource. That's a great.
Oh my God. I love that guy. Like if it's a day that I feel unmotivated, that I have things to do that I need to do, I listen to that guy and I'm like, okay, let's get on it. Let's do it. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. That's a great recommendation. I'll put a couple links to some Jim Rohn YouTube videos or something like that too. Just in case you haven't heard of him, you need to. So, Jeimy, this has been awesome. So good. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story and your experience, both, your life, but also your experience in salons, but also laundromats, of course. It's been super good. And I love, for me, the mindset that you have and the way that you're kind of approaching business and life is that's what it's all about to me, right? That's the dream that I think a lot of people are hoping to live when they look into buying a business like a laundromat. So thank you for coming on and sharing all that stuff.
Oh my God. Thank you for inviting me. I'm always happy to share, it's one way of helping people is sharing what you know. And I hope everybody can take away from this to enjoy the journey. Know where you're going. I know where I'm going, but I'm enjoying every single moment that I'm in. I wake up grateful and be grateful. I think that helps a lot. I wake up grateful every day. I look out the window and I thank you, God, for everything that I have. And let's get going. Let's get going.
Yeah. Well, that gratitude, it's getting choked up over here. Now, that gratitude it's so evident in your life, right? And it's so key to having a happy life, right? Is to remember we have so much to be grateful for here, everywhere, right? Like just life in general, we have so much to be grateful for. And I've definitely been in situations where things feel like they're pushing down on me and it's easy to lose sight of the things that we need to be grateful for. But waking up every morning and reminding myself or yourself, like, hey, here's some things I have to be grateful for, even if things are not ideal right now. And I'm in the difficult parts of the journey. There's always things to be grateful for. So I love that. Last question I have for you is if people are just loving this episode like I am and they want to connect with you, or maybe they need to get a blowout too. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the best way they can connect with you?
At 809 Laundromat. So it's really easy. 809 Laundromat on all social media. And also for the salon is at Salon 809 on all social media. And that's how you guys can connect with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on. This has been awesome. A lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
Very educational for me also. Obviously, I've learned some stuff about laundromats, but I feel like I've hit the ground running on the Dominican, hair salon business here.
You get ready to see them everywhere.
That's right. I'm going to go out and just drive the streets for a little bit and see what I can find. No, but thank you again so much for coming on and having such a great attitude and sharing so much wisdom and just being so fun to talk to. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This was very fun. So I really appreciate the opportunity to share what I do. I really love it. Thank you.
Well, anytime you want to do something, we'll do it. That'd be a lot of fun.
All right. Sounds good. Let me know. I'll give you a tour of DR too.
I was just saying, including meeting up in the DR and getting a tour around, because that'll be a lot of fun.
And you're welcome. You're welcome to bring the family. I'm going to have 2 apartments over there. If you want to stay in the city, stay in Punta Cana. You got it.
Oh, look at this, man. This is great. I love it. And looking forward to doing exactly that because that'd be a lot of fun.